Hi everyone. So I know this was a little bit ago, but I want you to think back to those spreadsheets you made last week in class. And in particular, I want you to think of the row where we had all of our exponents were to the power of zero. So you had like 2 to the power of zero, 5 to the power of zero, 9 to the power of zero. And there was that kind of odd row that was only ones all the way across. So you would look at like anything to the power of zero was all ones. And here I really just want to show you why that's the case. So I'm going to use 2 as an example. If we have, let's see, 2 to the 1, we know that's equal to 2. And then 2 to the power of 2 is equal to 4. 2 to the power of 3 equals times 2 again is 8. And then same thing here, 2 to the power of 4 equals times 2 is 16. So I want to look for a pattern here as we go back up this row. Um, Let's see, let me erase that real quick. Here we go. So as we go back up, how do we get from 16 back here to 8? Well, 16 divided by 2 equals 8. And then here, 8 divided by 2 equals 4. And then we can see if the pattern keeps working here. 4 divided by 2 still works, is equal to 2. And that makes sense, right? Because as we went down this column here, we had to multiply by 2 one more time. So it makes sense that as we go back up, we would be dividing by 2. But what happens when we get to 2 to the power of 0 if we just kept going up? Well, if we apply the same rule, do divided by 2, 2 here divided by 2 is just 1. So that gives us the rule that x being like any number to the power of 0 is equal to 1. And you can kind of imagine that if we had used another base as an example here, say we had used like 5 instead of 2, it would still work. So we would have 5 to the power of 1 is equal to 5. And then if we applied our rule and divided by 5, well, 5 divided by 5 is still equal to 1. So let's go through a couple examples here and see how this works. So if I gave you, how about 6 times 4 in parentheses to the power of 0? Well, we look at that and we see, okay, we have parentheses here, we have an exponent here, there's a lot of stuff going on, so we're going to need order of operations, our good old PEMDAS. And since parentheses come first, we still want to do what comes in parentheses before we do the exponent. Parentheses come before exponent. So 6 times 4 is 24 to the power of 0. And then if we apply our rule, remember anything to the power of 0 is 1. So that just gives us 1. So let's do a different example here. Here we have, let's see, let me get rid of this parenthesis. What about 8 times 2 to the power of 0? Now, I didn't put any parentheses in this one, so our order of operations is going to be a little bit different. Go ahead and pause the video and then see what we get after that. All right, so in our order of operations, we have two things going on. We have multiplication and an exponent. The exponent comes first, so we're going to have 8 times 2 to the power of 0. We apply our rule, so we know that's just 1. And then 8 times 1 is just 8.